She heard the scream from 2 floors away, a sound so heartbreaking it stopped her in her tracks. And when she found the source, she made a choice that would change 2 lives forever. Stay with me, because this story proves that sometimes the smallest lives teach us the biggest lessons about courage. Linda was just coming home from work, another ordinary Tuesday. Keys in hand, tired feet, ready to collapse on her couch. But then she heard it. A scream. Not human, but just as desperate. She rushed downstairs, her heart already racing, and there, barely visible in the grass, was a tiny puppy, bleeding, shaking, alone. Now here's what you need to know about Linda. She'd just moved into this apartment the day before, literally unpacked her last box that morning. And her lease? Absolutely, positively, no pets allowed. But when she looked into that puppy's eyes, none of that mattered anymore. She scooped him up, so small he fit in her palms, and drove straight to the nearest pet hospital. The vet's face said it all before his words did. Bleeding from the nose and mouth. We need X-rays immediately. Linda didn't hesitate. She paid for everything. And when the results came back, it was worse than anyone expected. Someone had thrown this puppy, deliberately, with force. His jaw was fractured, internal bleeding, less than a month old, and someone had used him like he was nothing. The vet looked at Linda and said something she'll never forget. Whoever did this wanted him to die. But here's where it gets interesting. The vet said the puppy could go home, but home, for Linda, was an apartment where pets weren't allowed. She'd literally just moved in one day. And now she was holding a critically injured puppy who needed feeding every 2 hours through a syringe. You're probably thinking she'd find a rescue center, right? She tried. There were none nearby. So that night, Linda made a choice. She set alarms for every 2 hours, wrapped the puppy in soft blankets, and held him close while he shivered and cried. And here's what nobody tells you about saving a life. It doesn't feel heroic in the moment. It feels terrifying. Every whimper made her wonder if he'd make it through the night. Every shallow breath felt like it could be his last. She named him Treasure, partly because he was precious, partly because she was hoping it would bring her luck. She needed both to survive. By morning, something miraculous happened. The bleeding stopped. Treasure opened his eyes, his little pink paws, I'm not kidding, the cutest thing you've ever seen, started moving with purpose instead of pain. But wait, it gets even crazier. Linda's landlord found out. The one person who could have ended this whole story, right there. And instead of evicting her, do you know what he said? Keep him. Just like that, he saw this tiny life suffering and said yes. Sometimes humanity surprises you when you least expect it. Over the next few days, Treasure had to endure 3 injections daily. And this next part gave me chills. This puppy, barely bigger than a smartphone, took the first 2 injections without making a sound. Brave, stoic, like he understood Linda was trying to help. But that 3rd injection, he squirmed, he cried, and Linda had to step back because watching him hurt was breaking her heart. The vet smiled and said, "This little guy's vitality is really coming back." 1 week later, Treasure was walking. 2 weeks later, he was playing. 1 month later, he learned to shake hands. 2 months later, he was riding bikes with Linda, his little head curiously taking in the world he almost never got to see. 3 months later, he's running in playgrounds, playing with Linda's son, living the life every dog deserves. From a broken puppy left to die in the grass, to a joyful companion who wags his tail every time Linda says his name. But here's what this story is really about. Linda didn't save Treasure because she had the perfect life situation. Her apartment didn't allow pets. She'd just moved in. One day. But wait, it gets even crazier. You know what gets me about this story? Linda almost didn't go downstairs. She was tired. It was easier to ignore the sound. But she didn't. And now two lives are completely different because of it. Think about how many times we walk past suffering because it's inconvenient, because we're busy, because someone else will handle it. But what if they don't? What if you're the someone else? Every day, we're given these tiny moments to choose courage over comfort, to choose compassion over convenience. And most of the time, we don't even recognize them as choices. Linda did. She saw a life that the world had thrown away, and she decided it was worth saving. So here's my question for you. What would you have done if you heard that scream? Would you have gone downstairs? Would you have taken on the responsibility of a life when your own was already complicated? Let me know in the comments, because I think your answer might surprise you. And if this story moved you, do me a favor. Share it, because somewhere out there, there's another treasure waiting, another Linda walking by, another moment where one person's courage could change everything. Sometimes the smallest lives teach us the loudest lessons, and sometimes love really does change everything. See you in the next one.